If you want cheap PC games, Xbox Live codes, and a whole bunch more, then check out G2A. A link is in the description below. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another video here today. We got a lot of gaming news today. We got Sony, how much they're actually going to be selling. We got Xbox actually pushing back and blasting the idea of next-gen exclusive games. And also we got something funny that's going on in Red Dead Redemption. So let's jump into the stories. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, super appreciate it. If you're new, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel directly, check out my sponsor G2A for some cheap PC games, Xbox Live codes, and more. Your support is super appreciated, so check out the link below. And then also Control Freak and Scuff, I use them every day when I'm playing. Code OGXRAYZ gets you a discount on both of those guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So first of all, let's talk about this. Sony aiming to ship 10 million PlayStation 5 units this year. So that's actually quite a bit. And I really hope this means that there's not going to be a shortage of consoles for people, because there's a lot of people who are stuck at home at the moment. And if you want an example of just how short and how many people are playing right now, the Nintendo Switch has been selling out like crazy, to the point where you need to have like yourself a special notifications on Twitter accounts and whatever that tell you whenever consoles are back in stock, because that's how fast they are selling out. So anyways, this is good news. It looks like they're going to be doubling at least what normally is launched or sold, or at least is produced in that first few months of the year. So let's go ahead and read the article, and again, all my sources will be in the description below. But it says Sony aims to ship 10 million PS5 units this year. Sony is aiming to manufacture and ship about 10 million PS5 consoles by the end of 2020. This is a super tall order, as they had originally only planned for 5 to 6 million. With a pandemic also going on in the background, Sony began manufacturing PS5 units in June and is expected to have 5 million ready by September. The remaining 5 million plus are expected to be fulfilled by December. The tech giant now aims to churn out 10 million units of its next-gen console this year. The logistics and current situation surrounding COVID-19 may disrupt those plans as we edge closer to the PS5's holiday 2020 release date. For reference, the PS4 sold 5.3 million units within the first 6 months of its launch. So it looks like they're expecting this thing to sell like hotcakes. So that's kind of crazy. The pandemic, which has forced millions to stay home amidst lockdown measures around the world, has seen a surge in appetite for video games, which apparently is why Sony is now dealing with a higher demand than expected for the PS5. As for the PlayStation competitor, Microsoft, an Xbox Series X showcase is scheduled for July 23rd next week, when the company is anticipated to reveal more about the console's price, release date, and launch titles. Even with the boost to manufacturing, Sony will still be unable to put enough units on the store shelves in the coming years and holiday season due to shipping constraints. The People said a large portion of Sony's consoles are made in China and sent out via sea around the world. It takes months for shipments to travel from China to the US and European via ocean lines, and Nintendo earlier this year had trouble refilling stocks of its popular Switch consoles for this reason. So it looks like they're going to be trying to ship 5 million units at least within the next few months, and then towards the end of the year have another 5 million ready to go. Kind of crazy that they use ships for that, but I mean, if they're trying to get 10 million units, it's probably going to cost way more money to try to ship them via planes. So completely understandable, and it's kind of crazy that they still use that, and it takes so long to get from China to the US and to Europe and stuff like that. So that's actually kind of insane, but also good news, because again, if the PS4 sold 5.3 in 6 months, this means that they're going to be more than covered, hopefully, for the demand of people who want to buy and have their PlayStation 4, or we'll see what happens with the Xbox Series X, but at least with the PlayStation 5, hopefully everyone who wants it day one will be able to get this. So that's actually pretty freaking awesome. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the next story. This is also another really interesting one here. But anyways, it says Xbox boss SLAMS concept of next-gen exclusive games. So that's another really interesting title here, because you do wonder, eventually they are going to go, yo, these games just can't run on the Xbox One anymore. The Xbox One X is just not going to work. So you're wondering, and if this is something that's eventually going to come. So I don't know if it's weird that he's slamming it already. Maybe he's just saying that yet, maybe in a few years, I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. But the article says Phil Spencer and Microsoft have a clear vision for the future of the video game industry, and it's quite a bit different from the one envisioned by Sony. In a new interview with GameIndustry.biz, the Xbox boss discussed the major differences between the two companies heading into the next generation console. While the PlayStation brand seems to be focusing solely ahead, the Xbox brand is still very much entrenched in the present, with plans to continue supporting the Xbox One in addition to the Xbox Series X, thanks to cross-gen support. It's a radical approach to a new console generation, but Spencer seems to view it as something that will benefit the video game industry community as a whole. Gaming is about entertainment and community and diversion and learning new stories and new perspectives, and I find it completely counter to what gaming is about to say that part of it is to lock people away from being able to experience those games, or to force someone to buy my device on the day that I want them to buy it in order to partake in what gaming is about, Spencer said to thegameindustry.biz. And again, I think that's a really good point. If they're trying to continue to put these stories and these ideas and their passion into it, you probably want as many people as you can to enjoy your game. So locking it behind, you can only play this on next gen, if it comes to the point where the hardware limitations are there, understood. But while the hardware limitations are not a problem, I don't see why they would not want to continue selling stuff on the Xbox One for people who can't afford the new console, or who maybe just want to wait for the price to drop, or who maybe just need to save up some money. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But it will be interesting to see how this approach works out. On one hand, those who can't buy a new console within the first year often see their software options dry up quickly. On the other hand, however, Microsoft can only expect developers to continuing supporting outdated software for so long. This could lead to a larger potential audience for a game. As more gamers eventually do upgrade their consoles, Microsoft model could become unsustainable. With the company reportedly encouraging publishers to avoid charging for next-gen upgrades, it's hard to imagine how long Microsoft can expect developers to support the Xbox One and Xbox Series X at the same time. As far as next generation consoles go, it's clear that Spencer and Microsoft are focused on expanding the Xbox audience and rewarding those who have stuck with the brand. From cross-gen support to backwards compatibility, it's clear that Microsoft has a much different goal moving forward than Sony does. It's impossible to say whether or not it will work out in the long run, but it's certainly an ambitious goal. So that's interesting. It looks like they want to keep the Xbox community as close together and as united as possible, at least for the maybe first couple of years, while the Xbox Series X is kind of establishing its foundation of core gamers and the people who are buying their consoles. So you probably want to keep those guys united and together and playing together until those people who maybe couldn't afford it the first year or the second year are able to do it by the end of that second or third year, depending again on how long they want to do it. But again, this could be counterproductive to studios who are wanting to work exclusively on next-gen games, but then are going to be limited because now they got to make sure it runs on the Xbox One X, etc. So very interesting, ambitious. I like it. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So anyways, with that said, let's talk about our final story. This is actually kind of hilarious. It's an article on PC Gamer, but it says Red Dead Online players are dressing up as clowns to protest a lack of updates. And this is actually kind of hilarious. It says the last RDO update, Moonshiner, came out in late 2019. You guys have to see this, okay? You guys have to see it, so give me a second. So here's a video. This is what it looks like. It's just, an entire lobby full of people dressed up as clowns. And again, they're doing this because they're pissed. They're pissed that there is no content, that it's been dried up eventually. And again, late 2019, that means that they've been without any content for at least 7 months at this point. They're triggered. They want more content. And now everyone's dressing up as clowns to try to protest and say, yo, we want some kind of freaking content, give us something. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But it says it's been 7 months since the release of Moonshiner, the last update to Rockstar's Wild West multiplayer adventure, Red Dead Online, and the players are starting to get a little antsy. And so, as noted by PC Games N, they've taken to the game's virtual space to express their displeasure in a slightly unusual way. RDO's literal clown show is apparently rooted in Red Dead fashion, a subreddit dedicated to showcasing character customization, something of a cross between an ongoing digital fashion show and a photography contest. In June, it held its first ever themed event, based on the cities of St. Denis, which was apparently quite a success, and so for July, they decided to follow up with something a little more pointed. Since we're all clowns for believing we'll get an update, it's fitting that we dress up as them in Game 2, the Traveling Circus Fashion Contest post says. Over the weekend, players only PvP Cat was able to put together a digital flash mob of RDO clowns, which led to predictable shenanigans including a group photo op, horseback rides, street races, and a hammer fight on a train. The frustration with the lack of updates is real, but Magner, the admin of Red Dead Online's Discord, told Polygon that its members are trying to handle it in a positive fashion. Rather than let it turn negative or nasty, which in-game communities often do, I thought I'd turn our protest into something a bit more fun or even wholesome in a way. The submission for Red Dead Fashion Traveling Circus will close on July 16, so you've only got a couple of days to dress up and take a great photo if you want a shot at fame and fortune. On the other hand, if you want to dress up as a clown and fire off a tweet at Rockstar, I expect that this will be going on for a while. So there we go, guys. We've got freaking people dressed up as clowns protesting Red Dead Online, not having any more content. So let me know what you guys think about this. Are you still playing? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about Xbox saying they want to continue to support the Xbox One through multiple years, apparently, and Sony aiming to have more launch amount of backstock of consoles than ever before. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys found the video informative and helpful. If you did, drop a like on the video. Super appreciated. Incredibly helpful. If you are new to the channel, obviously make sure you do subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss a single upload. And if you guys want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my sponsors, G2A for some cheap PC games, Xbox Live codes, and more, and then Control Freak and Scuff. Code OGXRAYZ gets you a discount on both of those guys. They use them every single day. And then if you guys want to talk about anything, Twitter is literally the best place to do so. Give me a follow over there at OGXRAYZ, link down below. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.